Here's an update to a story you saw first and only on WUSA 9. Our reporting revealed a D.C. charter school was being built illegally. We started asking questions, and now construction on Eagle Academy is stopped. People who live in the neighborhood tell our Delia Goncalves that isn't good enough. They want the mayor to take action.
After all of the damage, they're trying to sell the building.
You would think neighbors would be happy that Eagle Academy may be moving out of the Fairlawn community in Southeast.
They've never been a good neighbor, never been a good citizen.
But these homeowners feel like they've been duped by the school and its developers, who they say not only damaged their properties, but cut corners. The D.C. Department of Consumer and Regulatory Affairs once deemed this project on the 2300 block of R Street as an illegal construction site. DCRA's website lists 4 stop work orders in the past, including that time last May when our investigation revealed crews built most of that 2-story school without a permit.
How does that happen? These things shouldn't be allowed to happen.
Eagle Academy insists they've been good neighbors and have been transparent throughout the process. But these folks say they were never told the renovation project would actually end up being new construction.
About 30 homeowners signed this petition.
They say no city agencies responded to their concerns.
Working late at night.
But their YouTube video documenting the drama caught my eye. So now that the building is complete and the sale on the table, neighbors want the mayor's attention.
We need Mayor Bowser to come in, to step in and take a look at what's happening here. We're not a forgotten people in Southeast. We love the city. We appreciate our homes. We appreciate the work that the city officials do. But this has to stop.
Residents would like the city to buy the property and create a senior or community resource center. Eagle Academy released a statement saying, quote, "We continue to evaluate whether the location best serves our students, but are confident that the community will have a school."
Here's one thing they can't do: educate children in that school. According to the Public Charter School Board, Eagle does not have permission to operate a school in that location, leaving neighbors to wonder if the plan was to build and then flip the property all along. Delia Goncalves, WUSA 9.